Hello everybody, my name is just Scrub, but you guys can call me Scrubby, and today we're playing some more Kerbal Space Program. In the ending of the last episode, I believe we managed to finish the first two training missions. Let's see, basic construction, basic flight, yes. So here we go with intermediate construction. Okay, this tutorial presented by famous rocket scientist Werner von Kerman himself covers how to design a craft that can escape Kerbin's atmosphere and return safely. So we're actually starting to venture off into the beginnings of space. It's going to be very interesting. Okay, intermediate construction. I feel like I need to give him a voice. Let's see. Hello again. Glad you could come back. To get started, go ahead into the lab and I'll give you the overview of what we're building today. I don't know, I just feel like it's fitting to give him a voice because he pretty much explains everything, and I'm sure it'd be slightly more exciting than listening to my own voice. Okay, overview. Here we are again. Now to business. If you remember, in our last construction tutorial, we covered how to build a simple hopper and some of the basics of the construction area. In this tutorial, we'll expand your knowledge of some of the more useful features in the fab, and we'll build a more complex craft that will be able to get us out of the atmosphere. Ooh, that's blinking. Fancy. Okay, loading, save designs. To build a new design, let's start with the craft we built from basic construction tutorial. Though this one is called Hopper, this will save us a little bit of time, and the accounting department is always happy when we save on time. Click on the open button in the top right corner and load the hopper, then remove its RT5 flea motor. If you mess up, you can recreate the craft from the part list by placing a pod first, then a parachute on top of it. Note that throughout this tutorial I will leave all parts you need available to be placed. If you delete the craft file somehow, close the load dialog and it will open again next and the craft will be back. Okay. Open hopper, 3 parts in 2 stages. Load. Ta-da! So now I need to get rid of, weird. Next, God, that's gonna annoy me. Anyway, tweaking the chute. Unlike last time, we want to be bringing the whole vessel back so we can change our parachute stats from what we used before. Right click on the parachute and verify that its deployment altitude is set to 1000 as last time, but also set the minimum pressure slider all the way to the right, 0.75 atmospheres. That corresponds to an altitude on Kerbin of about 2 kilometers and means a much shorter time hanging around during descent. Okay, right click. Like that. 0.75. Ta-da. There's gotta be something I can do to get this stupid thing out of here. I don't even know where it went. Well, there it is. Okay, it worked that time. Okay. I was pushing delete like 3 or 4 times and it wasn't working, but I'm just happy it worked. Okay, first off, let's change the name of our craft and the description if you want, so that we still have our trash cans special for later on. Simply change the name to something other than Hopper and we can proceed. Okay, let's change it. Let's change the Hopper with 1P. Bam. Description to space. Well, I guess it's just outside the atmosphere, but whatever. Okay, next. Adding some extra functionality. Great, for this craft, we are going to give the ship some additional purposes by attaching a science experiment. We can run these experiments during our travels and get valuable science data for Kerbal kind, okay? There are a number of science experiments to be performed, but at the moment we only have the mystery goo containment unit available. Mystery goo, huh? Switch to the Science tab to look at it. This is one of the most basic scientific experiments Kerbal scientists have devised, and one of the first things they want to try and understand, but I mean, they don't even know what the color the goo is. Okay, so go to the Science tab. Makes sense, it's an atom. Okay, next. Ooh, okay. Using symmetry, when you pick the pot, you'll see that it's designed to attach to the sides of other pots, i.e. radially. If we attach only one of these, then during the flight our craft will be unbalanced. One way to solve this is to add an extra glue container on the opposite side of the rocket, so they balance. Luckily we have a symmetry tool to help here. These buttons control symmetry, highlighted. Okay, color symmetry, and angle snap, and can be found in the lower left of the screen. Press the symmetry button or press the X key to cycle through the cycles available in symmetry mode. Okay, set this to 2 times and then 2x, then pick up and place a mystery goo container unit. On the side of the pod near the top, you will notice that a second one has been placed opposite the first by the symmetry tool. If you have already placed a lone canister, pick it up. Make sure symmetry is set correctly and place it again so that it has a duplicate on the other side. Remember to place the canister near the nose of the pod. Okay. Mystery goo container. Cycle symmetry. 2. Oh, geez, you can. That's a lot. Okay, we just need 2. So, click. Where'd it go? I clicked, shouldn't have spawned? I'm not understanding something. Is it somewhere around here and I'm just not realizing it? Am I being stupid? Is it really small? I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, that was odd. Now I have it. Put it near the nose, you said? So, like, here? I'm gonna try and restart. Maybe then it will fix itself. I don't know what was going on, but I will be right back. Okay, it worked that time. I clicked it first try and now it's on there. Okay. I don't know what the issue was, but now it's working, so let's just continue on, shall we? Okay. If we add too many more parts here, the craft that we are making will be too heavy to survive re-entry safely and too heavy to be slowed by our parachute, leading to sudden impact syndrome. That does not sound good. So we will need to add a decoupler below the pod. Decouplers can be found in the coupling tab and will let us split the craft when we no longer need the lower parts. We won't be able to recover the discarded parts, but at least our craft and our Kerbal will survive re-entry and landing. Okay, decouplers can be used in many ways, but for now let's just add one of these to the bottom of the pod. Go to coupling and grab the TR-18A and place it. Note that stacked decouplers have arrows. The arrows show which side is the side that decouples. Make sure that your decoupler arrow is pointing up towards the pod. It will be by default. Okay. Coupling TR-18 stack decoupler. Boink. Easy enough. Okay. Aha. Well done. Ooh. Okay. Revisiting the staging stack. Well done. You'll recall, I hope, that in the previous tutorial we had to adjust the staging stack when we added the engine to our earlier rocket. When you add a decoupler, the extra stage is automatically added to the stack so that any new parts below the decoupler won't be staged at the same time as those above it. Nice. You can, of course, still move these all around, but hopefully this will save you some time as you go. If you ever want to return to this default staging setup, click the reset button at the bottom of the staging stack. Okay, boink. This time we are going to use liquid propellant rocket engine. Ooh, unlike solid rocket motors, these engines don't carry their own propellants with them, so we need to add some fuel tanks. Okay. Go to the fuel tank tab. So we are still using these early parts, so there are only FTL 100s available. This is another area like engines where advancement brings bigger and better parts. We're going to need 5 of these tanks to get us to space before you can grab 5 tanks from the part toolbox. So let me give you another tip. Because efficiency is my middle name, it goes right after Fawn. Once you place the first tank on the rocket, you can duplicate it by holding the left Alt key and clicking on the tank. You can do this on the bottom tank a few times and quickly get 5 of these attached without having to go back to the toolbox. Bam. Okay, so fuel. Fuel tank's very top. Ta-da. So, left alt? Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's so handy. Good, switch over to the engines tab now. This swivel engine you can see here is obviously different from the flea we used before. This is a liquid engine and it needs and buttons both liquid fuel and oxidizer. Funnily enough, that's what we just added to the rocket. Attach the LV-T45 swivel to the bottom of the rocket stack now and keep an eye on staging stack to see how it changes. Okay. Engines. Swivel liquid fuel engine. Okay. Oop, come here. Oh, that's cool. The decoupler separated the two. We're almost there. You're doing fine. Maybe not as speedily as someone of my caliber, though. The last thing we are going to need to do is to give the rocket a little better stability so it keeps going the way we want it to go. We will achieve this by adding some fins near the bottom of the rocket. Fins can be found in the aerodynamics tab. Set the symmetry mode to 4, and so we will place them on both axles. Turn on angle snap. You can turn on angle snap by clicking the button next to the symmetry icon highlighted blue in this example, or by pressing the C key that will help you align fins neatly. Drop a basic fin on the last rocket tank. You'll see the other 3 symmetry counterparts will be placed as well. Okay. So angle snap is on. Aerodynamics, basic fins, 4. Boink. Ta-da. Nice. Excellent. Ready to rock. We've now got a rocket that will let us reach for the stars. Admittedly, I did say reach for, as this is a basic rocket which can't achieve orbit, but on the bright side, that means re-entry will also be basic. You've done a great job in building a basic hopper and a suborbital capable rocket. Hopefully you've learned a little things about how to build a craft, how to use some of the shortcuts that are in here. Okay. Feel free to hang around a bit and try your hand at other things, or perhaps you could look at the next lesson in suborbital flights, where you will see just how this rocket performs, or head over to the science tutorial to learn how to advance your career and unlock more parts. If you could show yourself out of the construction facility with the red button at the top, when you're done experimenting, that would be great. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. I've heard the phrase before, but I'm not even gonna attempt it. Note, any vessel you create here will be lost when you exit. This is just for playing around. Oh lord, so we could build our own rocket. Let's do that at a later time. Can we launch this thing? Oh yeah. Well, let's go through the tutorial so I don't end up crashing and killing whoever. Yeah. Jebediah doesn't deserve to die today. Main menu. Yes, exit please. Okay. Training, suborbital flight. Okay, learn how to escape Kerbin's atmosphere and return to safety in this tutorial. Flight instructor Gene Kerman will take you through the essential flight controls and instruments required to launch a simple rocket to an almost respectable altitude and how to get back in one piece. Mr. Gene Kerman. Oh, look at him. Hello again, glad you can make it back. Today we will take an exciting step getting our first Kerbal into space. Yep, with a capital S. Hopefully you remember the controls we discussed in the basic flight tutorial, but don't forget that you can always press escape and click the view key pointing buttons for a reminder. If you're ready, let's get started. Okay, your mission today is to take a short suborbital, less than orbital flight over the water to the east. It's a nice arcing path that ensures a gentle survivable reentry. Straight up then straight down is not good for survival. I've set up the pink target indicator on the nav ball as an aim point, but do note that this is not the case for normal missions. The target marker is normally used for other things and does not help with ascent. Starting with the nose pointing straight up on the launch pad at 90 degrees elevation from the eastern horizon. Tilt east to 80 degrees elevation on the nav ball by... Okay. Okay, tilt east to 80 degrees elevation on nav ball by 150 meters a second. Start at 50 meters a second. Tilt east to 70 degrees by, oh geez. Coast up in space and have a look around. Prepare for entry. Let's re-enter and land safely. Once we reach burnout, i.e. run out of propellant, we'll have a bit more to learn and discuss. Okay, unlike the Hopper in our first lesson, this new craft has a liquid fuel engine. Get out of here, fly. This means we can use the throttle to set the output power of the ship's engine. Interesting. Throttle is controlled by the following keys: left shift, left control, Z throttle max, X cut off. Okay. Try these out now, and you'll see the indicator needle slide up and down along the graph. Ooh, that is so cool. So Z, so fancy. Next. SAS stands for Stability Augmentation System, though Kerbal astronauts usually refer to it as Sickness Avoidance Scheme. Okay, whatever it stands for, what it does is try to stop the ship from spinning around using the computer-controlled auto-torque drive compensator technology to counteract the rotation of the ship. In its simplest mode, it will keep the ship aligned with the orientation as when you turn SAS on, or if you pitch or roll while SAS is on the orientation when you release the controls. Okay. SAS can be activated or deactivated if on momentarily by holding down the F key, or keeping it toggled by pressing the T key. Okay. If you have problems following the maneuvers, once you enable SAS liftoff, you can click the small red button to the left of the nav ball. Okay. Which one? The small red button to the left of the nav ball. This one? I don't know. Okay, as a miniature target indicator, it's the lower left of all the buttons. Interesting, okay. That will cause the SAS to follow the target indicator and fly. Note, this autopilot function will not be available until you are flying. Gotcha, okay, this craft has a bit too much engine, so we're going to throttle down for launch. Set your throttle to 2/3 upper middle notches in the slider. Also turn on SAS to help control things. Press T, it will keep you pointed where you want to be pointed. Okay, so right here, and push T. I see now. Okay, stability assist, nice. Blink. And then this zeroes it out. Cool. 2/3. Bingo. Haha. Okay, during this lesson, some of the information is quite detailed and can take a while to read, as this is a short suborbital hop. I don't want you to miss anything important. I'll place a warning at the top pages where you might want to pause the game to read. Looks like this warning detailed info. Press escape. Okay. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the rest of the flight controls and you'll be clear to launch. Pitch roll, and then y'all was Q and E. Pitch. Okay, Q and E. Okay, I was just trying to remember what all they were. Okay, so y'all pitch. So roll, y'all pitch. Okay. Okay, enough talk. I'll unlock the rest of the flight controls and you'll be clear to launch. At any time you may press escape key to pause the game. In the pause menu you can restart the flight or in this tutorial, or return to the main menu. I've enabled the target marker on your nav ball. Okay. Give it a look to make sure you see it, and then let's get ready to light this candle. Double check your throttle is set to 2/3, the upper 2 middle notches of slider. SS is able, then hit space and you're ready to launch. Remember to start turning at 50 meters per second. Oh, I see now. It's right there, toggle SAS. Okay, so space. Oh god. Oh god, here we go. Start turning. Yeah. Hey, I'm flying. I'm flying. Now's the time to start turning. Follow the target marker. Okay. Trying. Looking good. Turn a little more. This is... yeah, I don't need to mess with that. Whoa, this is interesting. Okay, so I don't really need to use roll as of right now. Interesting. Looking good. We're aiming to get that 70-degree pitch line. Excellent work. Where it needs to be. You should be able to let SAS keep the aircraft steady. Okay, now go ahead and throttle up for full power. So Z. Yeah. Warning. Okay, detailed info. Press escape to pause. Great work. You've succeeded in getting your ship on a trajectory bound for space. Okay. I've now set your target indicator to align you with the velocity vector that will minimize drag by turning the small side of the vehicle into the airflow. Somewhere around here you will see the nav ball speed indicator. I'll switch from surface to orbit, accompanied by the speed number jumping. Go ahead and switch it back to surface mode by clicking on the unit until it says surface again. Okay, you might have noticed some kind of flickering flames near the end of our burn air, which is due to the high speed of your craft in the atmosphere. Normally our ascent would be a little slower, but I'm sure my friend Warner has helped you build a ship that can withstand this heat. And besides this high and this slow, you will be fine. Okay. If you want to have a look at your trajectory, you can switch to the map M and have a look at your projected path. Just remember, come back to flight mode again. Oh wow, that's cool. Okay, here we go. Fancy. It's still on surface. Okay, I understand. Awesome. Next. Now we're coasting our way to the apoapsis. That's the highest point of your current projected path. We've got a little time to chat. Once you clear the atmosphere, we'll go over what we can do in space. Okay, and I realize that you can actually speed things up, so cannot warp time in this scenario. Okay, so now I guess we just gotta wait for whatever Gene wants to say. Go on. A little more. There we go. That's better. Give me right there, SAS. So, M. So I can zoom in and... Oh, wow. Jeez, we're going... This is so exciting. Cannot warp time. Come on. I've got a long ways to go. It's pretty cool. Alright, I'm ready, Gene. You can talk about whatever you want to now. Not what I want. I need to push M. So can I just spin this and make Jebediah go sick? Okay, that's enough. That's enough. Okay, let's... Fancy. I love how the music changed. Did the music change because I'm out of the atmosphere now? Okay, while we float up here beyond the atmosphere, I'll quickly tell you about a couple things you can do. With an advanced enough astronaut complex in the KSC, we can train our Kerbals to be able to spacewalk or EVA, although we won't be doing it on this flight. Also, when we are carrying science devices like your goo containers, we can perform experiments. Feel free to pray goo containers now by right-clicking on them. I'll let you know when it's time for the next phase in the suborbital flight. Okay, right-click. Warning, detailed info. Okay, as we near the edge of the atmosphere, again, it's time to reorientate the pod that we're ready for re-entry. We've only going to re-enter with the pod chute and goo canisters, but we're not going to decouple yet. In real missions, it's best to keep your upper stages around until the last moment. You'll never know when you might need it. Interesting. Okay, anyways, it's best to re-enter bottom first, and since we ascended about 70 degrees, the pitch will naturally re-enter at about -70 degrees pitch, okay? That means you want to aim the top of the capsule at the 70-degree pitch line, but the opposite heading. This is at the heading of the 270 degree on the nav ball and 70 degrees pitch, and I've placed a target marker there to help you see where this lies. Turn SAS off and challenge your altitude, then turn it back on again. Okay, but I want to place the goo. Observe. Ooh. Mystery goo observation while in space near Kerbal. The goo seems to have clumped into a sphere. It also appears to become brittle. Interesting. Cool. Reset. Fancy. Nice job. Get ready to decouple. I didn't even move it. So I need to turn SAS off, and so I need to go over here. Oh god, that is way too much. God. Oh. Wow. It really moves when you don't have SAS on. Come on. Oh, wrong one. Oh god. Oh god. It's spinning out of control. I'm turning this back on. Stabilize me, please. God, whoa. Everything's backwards. Say yes. Okay, so... Bam. Okay, warning, detailed. You're now re-entering Kerbal's atmosphere. Make sure to keep all hands and feet inside the pod at all times. We don't want you getting burnt or anything. Don't mind the flames. Warner is a world-famous rocket scientist after all, and he's built this ship to withstand them. Good to know. Last time we watched the parachute icon to wait for the right time to open the chute. This time we're going to do something a little different. Remember in the construction tutorial where you designed this vessel, you set the chute to try not to semi-deploy until 0.75 atmosphere pressure? This means the chute won't perform the first of its 2 deployment steps until then. Even if you activate it by staging now on Kerbal 0.75 ATM means about 2,000 meters altitude above sea level, and the craft should be traveling slowly enough by then that the chute will survive deployment. Let's take the bold step of arming the chute now and let the smarts in there pop at the right attitude. Now you can trust me, stage the chute now by pressing space. Okay, awesome. So while you set your chute, do not actually semi-deploy until around 2 km. We do not want... we do look out for you at mission control. We do need you to ensure that opening height, its second full deployment step, is correct. You can even adjust these parameters during flight, so right click on the parachute now and check their sliders. Don't touch the pressure slider or bad things will happen, and make sure the full deploy altitude is no less than 1,000 kilometers or you'll not have enough time to slow down. Once you're satisfied, just hang out until about 2 km. Watch the parachute trigger itself according to the setting we've chosen. While we're waiting, I want you to look at the bottom of the capsule. Note that you do not have a heat shield. You don't need one because this is such a gentle flight. Actually, a heat shield would make things more dangerous on this craft because the additional mass would be pushing limits of this model's parachute. Interesting. Okay, so I need to get this. Oh god. Oh my god, that's freaking crazy. SAS? Wow, this thing moves super... Wow, it controls so weird. So, like this. Like when you turn it off, it's just like it goes wherever it pleases. Jebediah looks like he's having fun. And then it's just like when you turn on SAS, it's just like so smooth in order to control it. Okay. Now we just sit back and... Oh, you know what? I didn't look at the parachute. Yep. Okay. Can I explore the mystery goo when I'm coming back in for re-entry? Oh my god! Be getting very cold now. Transmit data. Yeah. Aw, cannot. So did my rocket parts literally just crash into the middle of the ocean? Oh. Okay, I just wanted to, it said important, so I was like, oh no. Okay. Okay, not available. Whee! How are you doing in here, bud? Oh wow, that's crazy. Okay. Pressing C. Aha, thanks. Now we just make our slow descent. Look at me go. I got a long ways to go. Map. Shoots away. And enjoy loosely float down to the surface. And by the surface, you mean the middle of the ocean? Houston, we have splashdown. Well, not yet, but... What's RCS do? Woo, woo. God, let's turn that off and just woo. Yeah, it's a party. God, could you imagine if you were hurtling down to Earth and this is how your ship was going? That would not be fun. That's funny. Just like when you push it, it's just like, Okay, now it's not doing it, but let's just keep it on and allow a nice, easy descent. So that number is going to go pretty much straight down to 0, isn't it? Oh, look. Hey, is that our rocket parts over there? Or is that... Something's in the water. Oh no, that's our shadow. I'm an idiot. Duh. Okay. Wow, it's amazing how far you can zoom out. Oh my god, you can zoom out. What? It's crazy. Okay, what about the mystery goo now? What's this one doing? Observe mystery goo. The goo wobbles as it crashes flies. Okay, cool. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, okay. We have splashdown. Welcome back and congratulations on completing and even surviving your first real mission. You've managed to launch, control your vessel into space, orientate yourself correctly, and land safely. That's quite an achievement. If you want to practice again, choose to revert to launch from the pause menu, otherwise end the scenario. And to be sure to check out the other tutorials. My next one is about going for orbit and is really exciting. There's always more to learn at Kerbal Space Center. Awesome. Okay, that was really fun and interesting. SAS is a lifesaver, otherwise without it I would not be able to steer this vessel for crab. Looks like Jebediah is happy to be back on the surface of the planet at least. He's just miles and miles away from anything. Can I tell it to like can I be like, hey, I need picked up? I guess I'll show that in a different tutorial, which isn't important, but in the scenario, that was a lot of fun. It's always so exciting to just like oh, okay, like you learn the basics and then it just keeps increasing. I'm really excited when it teaches us how to get to the moon. That'll be really fun. That's gonna be super complicated. I'm sure you'll have to, you know, orbit around the planet until you can slingshot yourself out to get to it, but excited. Okay, so that's enough of me that's enough of me being excited. I just want to thank you guys for taking the time out of your day to watch this video and hopefully come back for more. Goodbye.